got multiple reps and everything. Kickoff coverage, return, punt, return. We did tight punt. We worked some special situations at the end of the game. For example, you hit a big play and down to the 10, and there's 2 seconds on the clock. You got no timeouts, and you better have a play. You better be ready. And the same thing. There's 3 or more. Working the clock procedure. We work the sudden change. End of the game, tie game. Defense gets a pick. Gets tackled on the 10. We try to center the ball, game-winning field goal. Just a lot of operational stuff that we needed to go through today as a coaching staff. We had all the headsets and all that stuff, so just a lot of procedures that we needed to work through there. And then we did overtime today. 2 teams, put 2 teams on each sideline, captains. The whole overtime procedure. Did a couple of 2-minute situations. One a touchdown to win it, another one a field goal to win it, and then so just a lot of that. We did a lot of. I mixed it up too a little bit more. I went so 1s on 2s and 2s on 1s. Kind of mixed it up that way a little more today, really to challenge the second group. In that you don't sub people. When you sub, you got to go in and you got to perform at the same standard as the guy in front of you, if there's a guy in front of you. And, so there'll be a lot of good thing on tape. But the first group on both sides had a really good day. The attack didn't give up. Our first group, they didn't give up a touchdown. And Orange, our first offense, I think they scored every time. So there was just a lot of guys on our second group that I think can grow a lot from this scrimmage.
Coach, talking to Coach Elliott, again with that today's MO, how does the tempo factor in? Is it getting better?
Tempo's been really good. Tempo's been really good for us. Really all camp. We've had a couple of days. Probably the biggest thing, disappointment-wise, was our 2 minutes. A couple of wideouts. 25, 24, 23 clocks ticking. We're just kind of fixing our jersey and just, lollygagging around. We didn't have quite the urgency that we need. Same thing on defense. Had some guys, they don't have to wait on you to line up. They don't sub, they can snap the ball. So just a little improvement that we need from a awareness situation in 2 minutes. So the other thing we did work on today, we worked on our coming out off the 1. So worked on that and tight punt situation, punting off the back line.
Quarterback's a little more accurate today?
Yeah, I thought the quarterbacks had another good day. It was, I felt bad for Chase on a couple of situations. He probably didn't have his best day, but that's the world we live in. Everybody's booing the quarterback when he walks off the field, but heck, you got a guy who missed assignment up front and gets hit, and then you got a receiver runs the wrong route, so you throw an interception. You throw the ball right where it's supposed to be. The receiver runs the wrong route. It's an interception. Everybody's booing the quarterback. So I felt a little bad for him today, and then he made a great 3rd down throw that was dropped. So it was just kind of that type of day for Chase. But I thought Kelly probably had his best day. He had a great day. Multiple touchdown throws. A really, really good day. And Trevor had a good day. Missed a few things, but it was pretty solid all day. I thought he executed the 2 minute very well.
Are you comfortable with the installation at this point in camp?
Yep. Oh yeah. We got a lot in. And that's one of the things I tell our guys is like for example, it was a young receiver that ran the wrong route, and which led to a pick 6. But right now we got this in. We're not going to play firmly with that. We're ready. We prepare for the season as you go through. The same thing defensively, offensively. We put a lot in. But I love where we are installation-wise. We'll still sprinkle a few little things, but come Tuesday, we're going to turn the page, and we'll really be all firm and prepped from that standpoint. We'll still have some good on good, but just stay sharp, the speed of the game. But we'll turn the page all opponent prep. And so now your game plan, gets locked in because everything that you have doesn't apply from week to week, based on who you're playing, what their personnel is, what's their scheme, what type of front do they play, what's their coverage, so then you take all your installation and craft a game plan for that week. But I think what we've been able to expose them to has been very good. And what they've been able to absorb, that's what I've probably been most impressed with. I mean, I've got a lot of veterans guys back, so obviously we're at a pretty high level with those guys. They played a lot of ball. But even the young guys, I think, have held their own. And, but it'll they're all kind of punch drunk right now a little bit. I mean, we're starting our third week. Yesterday was the culmination of 2 weeks of camp. Every day, meetings, practice, meetings. It's just every day. So this is literally the start of the third week today, because we started 2 weeks ago on Wednesday. So they're just kind of there's a lot going on, and so I think tomorrow is going to be awesome. I think we came through the day healthy, but tomorrow will be. We got meetings today or tonight, and then get a little break, come back for dinner. We'll have a couple hours of meetings tonight to really go through and clean up the tape. And then back over here in the morning, team meeting, special teams, segment meetings. And then tomorrow we're going to have more of a mental practice, kind of slow it down, and no physical, no pads or anything like that. And then we're going to give them off Saturday and Sunday. So first time in the history of my 29 years of college football that you're twiddling my thumbs on Saturday and Sunday. So, but I think it's great. They changed the practices from 29 to 25. And the way we did our schedule, I could have waited and brought them in later and all that. The way we did our schedule was, and meet with our guys was, hey, we've been going 17 straight days. Let's go and let's grind, and we're going to take Saturday and Sunday. I think when we get back in here Monday morning, these guys are going to be bouncing, light on their feet a little bit. So good opportunity for them to recover mentally and physically, and get back after it with a strong finish Monday, Tuesday, and then the first day of class is Wednesday. They start school, and we'll have a good practice Thursday in the Beanie Bowl next Friday, and get into game week.
Is 3 scrimmages in the last 4 practices a little unusual for you?
Not really. I mean, you might have maybe by a day, but that's kind of how we laid it out, and I think our guys managed it well, and they were set out to. It's all about plays, and today was by far the least amount of plays. I think we had 116 play scrimmage, and then it went to like 100, and today was probably 80-something. Something like that.
What can you learn about guys in these scrimmages that are close to game-like situations, and are there any guys in particular that you thought impressed today?
Yeah, I mean, you learn a lot. I mean, we had a corner today give up a 70-yard touchdown pass because he didn't know the call. How do you not know the call? Well, if you don't know the call, do cartwheels, do something to make sure you get the call. Call timeout and let Coach Swinney yell at you, whatever. Or back your butt up and get yelled at for giving up a hitch if you're supposed to be in cover 2. But don't play cover 2 not knowing the call and you throw up a 70-yard touchdown pass. So, just some awareness. That's just some awareness stuff. Or walk on the field and not know the 2-minute situation. Do they need a field goal or a touchdown? Just some awareness things that come up when you're playing instead of practicing, that you get the real opportunity to coach. So, and that's all of us. I mean, I thought as coaches today we were pretty dang average. I thought our communication stunk. First day with the headsets, I thought we as a staff did a poor job. We weren't near as precise as we need to be. But again, that's why you do it. That's why you practice, and so we'll clean that up. So it's the same thing for everybody. But we'll get better.
Dabo, tight ends. Garrett's back.
Yeah.
You've got J.C. Chalk in there, and you've added Braden Galloway. Talk about that position, and are you able to do like you have in the past and stretch the field with one of those guys?
Yeah. J.C. had a big catch on 3rd down today. It's good to see that. Milan's kind of like Kelly. He's kind of like Kelly Bryant. Last year, a first-year starter, and he's at a whole nother level than where he was last year in every area. He's more mature. The game slowed down, more savviness, more swag. Everything just looks better. He's not breathing as hard, and it just comes with experience. And so he's in a much better place. And then Garrett's been great since spring. He's been awesome. He really has. He's done a great job for us. He'll have a big role for us. He's really improved catching the ball. Braden Galloway is different. He's going to be a really good player. I love the potential of Braden Galloway. There's a lot going on for him right now, but just purely running and route running and ability to catch the ball and all that, he's going to be a fun guy to coach. And he's got a lot of want to. He's not afraid. He's got some toughness, but still he's not ready to go in there and execute like we need him to. But there's some things that he can do. And I think he's just going to get better and better. And then Cannon's had a really solid camp. I mean, he's had a solid camp for us. It should. Senior guy, knows what he's doing. A different type of guy than some of those other guys.
You mentioned the twos. Running a lot of twos versus ones, and some of your ones are returning guys with the experience and the value there. Any of the twos that kind of jumped out at you today in terms of kind of where they are compared to the ones?
I probably have better answer for you once I watch it on tape, but on the hoof, no. I thought the first group defense dominated the day, and I thought the first group offense dominated the day. I mean, it just really, so as a group, I mean, I'm sure when I watch the tape, there's going to be a few guys where I'm going to be like, man, hey, kid's been pretty good. Because at the end of the day, you can only do your job and do it well, and we have to grade them on their individual merit. But it takes 11 guys in football to get the job done. So that's what we're held accountable for. Is ultimately is what we get done as a group when we're on the field. So, but I'm sure when I watch it, there'll be a few guys that jump out at you.
How do you feel injury-wise heading into the weekend with Skalski, Thompson, Jurgen?
Yeah, pretty good. Travion, I think he says will be back rolling Monday. Same thing with Skalski. I think he's going green tomorrow, actually. But we won't be in pads tomorrow. But I think they're going to put him out there Monday. I believe is where he is. And I think Jurgen, I think all that came back good. I think he's progressing, just taking it slow with him still. He's not in great football shape. Guy hadn't played football in quite a while. And then about 2 days in, he gets a stinger. So he's a little behind from that standpoint, but he's progressing. And then who else you asked about?
Goodrich, is he still in green?
Marlon was good. He practiced, did everything. And he actually the other day, got in a few snaps the other day. We went green the day before, and he didn't play a lot, but he got in some snaps. But today, he got in there a good bit, so he's back rolling. Yeah, I mean, we're actually, knock on wood, we're actually in pretty good shape right now, and especially coming off of 3 tough scrimmages and some good physical work. I think the team's in a good spot. I really do. So hopefully by Monday that injury report will be as clean as it's been since we started, and it doesn't mean something can't happen because we still do good on good fastball stuff, but our scrimmage work is pretty much done as far as just live scrimmage work. We will do the Beanie Bowl next Friday, but we'll keep that full speed, but we'll keep it thud. But anything can happen anytime, but hopefully the high risk type stuff is behind us.
At defensive end, you've got a number of young, good guys behind.
Yeah.
How would you kind of assess where the 2s and 3s are, or those guys?
Yeah, they're all battling. I mean, we feel really good about Foster. I think he's really had a good camp. Register they're very confident in Register. He knows what he's doing. He's going to be where he's supposed to be. He's a veteran guy. He knows his role. And then you got those guys behind him. Logan he's just a ball of butcher knives, man. He just flies all over the place. He's not always where he's supposed to be, but something's getting hit, smashed. So you just love his demeanor and temperament. The guy just loves to play football. Still got a lot to learn. And then KJ and Xavier are exactly what y'all think they are. They're just tremendous young talent. They don't always go the same way either. But it's just a lot to learn, especially at the end. There's just so much to learn there, especially when you're playing today's offenses. And we ask them to do a lot of things as far as how they play the run, how they box the run, Do they spell it? Do they drop? And there's just a lot going on, especially when you see offenses that are, hiding the ball a lot. So with the play actions and the RPOs, the zone read stuff, the quick pitches, the speed, the motions. There's just, all of a sudden you can take a really, really talented player, and he can be like that in a heartbeat. And so those guys, I think, have had a good camp. I think the biggest thing with KJ is he's just gotten bigger and stronger. And then Xavier, he's a blur. I mean, he's like I said, he's not always going the right way, but wow, is he going in a hurry wherever he's going. And he's got such a bright future. So I love those two guys, and they're just going to get better. And then Maskell, man, we knocked it out of the park with that guy. Really talented player. So I'm excited about him. And because we've had all that, we're like, okay, well, who can we put inside at 3 technique? And so we moved Xavier inside, who's 270 and strong as an ox, and he's done a really good job. I'm very encouraged by working him in there, just trying to get utilize our bodies the best possible way. And,
who's been the surprise out of the young guys, out of the freshmen?
The surprise, to me, probably Maskell, just because he just got here, and I just didn't know how he'd take to it right out of the gate. So behind all those guys, and but he's and he's not ready to play. But I just love his effort. I love his demeanor. I love his attitude. I love his potential, his work ethic, and so. But I've been pleasantly surprised with how he's adapted. It was hard on him, I think, early, but he's just kind of hit his groove a little bit, and I've noticed it.
What about the other Xavier Kelly? You think this could be kind of a breakout year for him?
I hope so. He's a guy that we got to try to find a way to get him on the field some, and he's just kind of been, battling some numbers at his position, and he was probably the least happy that Cleveland and Austin came back. But it is what it is. So I'm not going to move Cleveland or Austin to 3 technique. They could do it. If you look at all those guys I got it in, and if you're really trying to balance and utilize your personnel the best, I'm not going to move. Austin could do it, and Cleveland could do it, because them some bad jokers right there, and they're football players. They could go play anywhere. They play nose, they can play anywhere, and them suckers are ballers. But none of the rest of them guys could do that right now. Xavier is the only guy that, let's just see. And so just trying to simply get him on the field more, utilize our personnel the best, and so far I think he's done a really good job. And a lot of times with the way we play defense, that 3 technique becomes a 5, because we're in and out of multiple fronts, and we do a lot of pressures, we do a lot of twists, so there's good carryover for him, but I think he's been able to play actually a little faster in there. So it's been good. It's something we're just trying. It doesn't mean he's going to be there for life, but we're focused on this year, and we'll go from there.
Coach, I have to ask you about LSU. We don't know if any of us will be here when that happens, but how excited are you about that series with LSU that's coming up?
Oh, man, yeah. If I'm here, then life is good. I hope I'm here. When it's 25, man, hopefully the good Lord will allow me to see that. That'd be awesome. But I think it's great. I think one of the things that I made a concerted effort with when I got the job, literally, I remember vividly having the conversation with Terry Don. I'm like, Terry Don, I know we're not very good right now, but we need to play people, because that's going to help me teach, and that's going to help me develop the culture and the mindset that you have to win at the highest level. Because I didn't think we had that. And so, that's what we've committed to, and that's what we've done for 9 years. Y'all know, we played Auburn 4 times. We played Georgia twice. We played Notre Dame. What was that? Oh, that's 4, 6. Played Notre Dame, that's 7. And now we got Texas A&M twice. So we're playing 10 Power 5 schools a year. And I think Ross was telling me, yesterday, the last 3 years, I think we got 34 wins versus Power 5 opponents, most of anybody in the country. And so that has allowed us to develop our program. And so, we played LSU in the bowl game, and so got a lot of respect for that program. But, the battle of the Death Valleys, down the road. Got a long way to go before then. But hopefully we'll make it.
There's been a growing trend of these neutral site matchups just 1 year, but you seem committed to the home and home.
Well, we're in a unique situation here at Clemson. I don't mind a neutral site game as long as it's a road game for us. But I'm not giving up a home game to do a neutral site game. Even though a lot of times the TV people, they'll say, well, we'll make sure you make more than what you would make at a home game. Well, that's great for us, but it's terrible for our community. It's bad for Clemson. This is per capita, this is probably the biggest stadium in the country. In a little town, and man, a lot of these people make their year on those 7 Saturdays. So I've always been against that. If it means I'm losing a home game here, I want to be here. Number one, just the community. Number two, recruiting. A game day in Death Valley is special, and you can't simulate that in one of these other places. So I don't mind it. If somebody else wants to give up a home game on one of our road, hey, we'll go. Great. But I'm adamant and really believe wholeheartedly that we need to have our maximum number of games here at home every single year for our program, for recruiting, and most of all for the community of Clemson and Greenville and Anderson and Seneca, because everybody benefits from that.
I think you've told us before, but the last time you went into LSU,
It's not like we're in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? Like where they got Super Bowls and you name it coming in there.
You remember the last time you went into LSU on the bus?
Oh yeah, I remember it well. I've been there many times. In fact, one year I think I can't remember if it was the year that they went to. I think it was the year they added Arkansas. We had to go back-to-back years to LSU, and that's always an interesting bus ride in when you're going into Baton Rouge, and they make sure to bring you in, a certain way, and they're a pretty passionate fan base. It seems like the later the night they play, the more passionate it gets. But it's a great venue, awesome place to be a part of a college football game. I've played there, coached there. It's a lot of fun.
Take about one more to get back to the kids.
What?
What have you seen from Shaq Smith during camp?
He's made great improvement. He really has. He's the best he's been since he's been at Clemson, and really, really good progress. So pleased with Shaq, and hopefully he'll have his best year as a sophomore. He's only had 1 year, so this is a sophomore year, and hopefully good things to come this year and down the road.
All right, Coach Sean, you want to say that?